Lời đầu tiên xin chào các độc giả đã đến với website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com. Khi tìm đến với website rèn luyện kỹ năng, chắc hẳn bạn đang mong muốn tìm cho mình một công cụ tốt nhất trong quá trình rèn luyện kỹ năng. Kỹ năng ở đây có thể là kỹ năng lãnh đạo, kỹ năng bán hàng, kỹ năng mềm, kỹ năng sống và rất nhiều các kỹ năng khác. Thông thường khi nghĩ đến việc rèn luyện các kỹ năng như chúng tôi đã đề cập ở trên, chúng ta thường hay nghĩ đến việc tìm mua cái đầu sách hoặc tham gia các chương trình hội thảo. Nhưng trong cuộc sống bận rộn của thế kỷ 21, thời gian và tiền bạc là hai thứ luôn bị giới hạn nhiều nhất. Với sự ra đời của website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com, chúng tôi mang đến cho bạn một công cụ tốt hơn trong việc rèn luyện kỹ năng của mình, đó chính là các DVD rèn luyện kỹ năng. Bạn sẽ không còn phải tốn quá nhiều thời gian để đọc sách hay tốn quá nhiều tài chính để tham gia các chương trình hội thảo. Chỉ cần bỏ DVD vào đầu máy, ngay lập tức bạn đã có thể tận hưởng những thước phim quý giá được chia sẻ từ các diễn giả nổi tiếng tại Việt Nam và trên thế giới. Website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com cung cấp đầy đủ cho bạn các DVD rèn luyện kỹ năng trên nhiều lĩnh vực. Tất cả các DVD rèn luyện kỹ năng của các diễn giả nước ngoài có tại website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com đều có phụ đề 100%, hỗ trợ tối đa cho quý độc giả khi theo dõi. Rèn luyện kỹ năng.com cam kết chất lượng tất cả các DVD khi cung cấp cho quý khách hàng. Với hân hạnh được phục vụ cho rất nhiều các khách hàng trên cả nước. Chỉ cần click đặt hàng, trong vòng 1 đến 3 ngày, bạn đã có thể cầm sản phẩm trong tay. Rèn luyện kỹ năng hân hạnh được phục vụ quý khách.
Welcome to Equity Happens, Strategies of Successful Investors. This unique program features excerpts from a day-long workshop and will cover many of the important concepts and mindsets successful investors are using to profitably invest in real estate. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, you'll discover key distinctions that can position you for success. Your host for the program is professional investor and talk show host Robert Helms. Robert is a highly successful landlord, investor, and developer. He teaches real estate appraisal and practices at the college level and serves on the board of directors for several companies. Co-founder of the Advisor Financial Alliance, a real estate investor development program, Robert mentors thousands of investors through seminars, mentoring clubs, and field trips. He's the co-author of the book Equity Happens, Building Lifelong Wealth with Real Estate, and the host of the Real Estate Guys radio program. Now, here's Robert to show you why real estate is a great investment vehicle.
Lots of people say they want to own more real estate, and you know what they're doing this morning? They're still sleeping. You guys got up early, you got here, you made it on time because we're videoing today, and that already says a bunch about you. Guess what happens when we do a free seminar, and there are a couple things we do a year that are free. We get a whole bunch of people that sign up and they say, I'm going to be there, you bet, I'll see you there, I'll be at the seminar. And then the seminar comes and goes and they weren't there. As Mr. Rohn says, Jim Rohn says, well, the birds got them. Right? We don't know why that is. As soon as we put a price tag on the seminar and you had to write a check or use your credit card, you become a lot more likely to be here. And guess what? Today, almost everybody's shown up. Now, are a few people going to be late? Well, yeah, that always happens. A few people are going to be late because life happens, but a lot of stuff happens as you learn today. But I'd like to congratulate you for being here, and I have a question for you. Here's the question. How many of you came today because you want to learn more about real estate? Oh, look at all the hands. That is awesome. Now, here's a better question. How many of you came today because you want to own more real estate? Do you see the difference there? A lot of people want to learn about real estate, but guess what? Education is not enough. It's not enough, as I talked about earlier, just to learn. Education's important, right? You got to learn. You got to know something about it. My friend Todd Barnhart wrote a book called The 5 Rituals of Wealth. And in that book, Todd says there are no successful financial illiterates, meaning that people get good in the money game, understand the game they're in. They understand finance. If you're going to get good at the real estate investment game or the real estate investment business, you need to have an understanding about it. So education is truly important, but education is not enough. We have this syndrome called paralysis of analysis, right? We get these people that come to our seminars, and we love these people. We call them groupies. And what they do is they show up to everything. They show up to our classes at the college. They show up to our seminars. They listen to our radio show every week. They know the formulas. They have calculators. They've learned. They've studied. What aren't they doing? Buying anything. And if you don't ever buy anything, how much are you going to profit from real estate? None. And you know what I love? I love all these no money down guys, right? No money down. There's no money down. First of all, can you buy real estate no money down? No! No, you can't. You can't buy real estate no money down. Well, okay, there are some instances where you can get 100% financing. You still have closing costs and all those kind of things. But it's very rare. And the competition for those deals is very high. So it's hard to get a really good no money down deal. Plus, because you aren't putting any money into the deal, the cash flow isn't very good, and many times those are the properties that end up what we call upside down, where there's more payment going out than coming in, boo hiss, and because of that situation, what happens is people lose the properties. Is that what you want to do, lose a property? No. So why is it that all these late-night TV gurus will speak to no money down? Because guess what a lot of people have? No money down. But they got $2.99 on their credit card, don't they? So I'm not trying to dissuade you, but if you have absolutely no money, no job, no credit, guess what you have also? No future, right? So it does take something. Now, it's possible to get started with just a little money and the desire. And you know what? Which is more important? Desire and attitude are everything. Absolutely. We have a saying at the Advisor Financial Alliance, which is our group of companies that help people create wealth through real estate, and that is education for effective action. Education is important, but what's more important? Action, and not just any action, not random action, but effective action. It's important that you learn what you need to learn so you can take the right steps. But the problem is people want to wait until they know enough before they do anything. Now, I don't want you to just take action right away like crazy. We had someone come in our office in one of our consultations. This is great. We do these consultations with people, and most of what we do, of course, we teach in groups. But at some point, we need to sit down with you and decide where it is that you're going. And we sat down with this couple, and they said, well, we're ready to go. In fact, we want a good deal, and we'll get one. If you can get us a good deal today, I will write a check. Who's looking for a good deal? Who's looking for a good deal? You guys all want good deals, right? That kind of goes without saying. Well, we had to kind of slow them down a little bit, say, whoa, back the horse up. Listen, you can't just write a check until you understand what real estate's trying to do for you, and that's a pretty important concept. All right, here's another question for you. Are you a consumer or are you an investor? And do you know the difference? See, most people that I see start in real estate investing are consumers who are suffering from an investorial seizure. They think they're investors, but the problem is they act like consumers. So what's the difference between a consumer and an investor? Well, here's one of the basic things. First of all, a consumer saves their money. They save, they hold on to what they have, and they don't want to let go of it. My hard-earned money. They put it in the mattress, they put it in the piggy bank, they save it, and they're very concerned about losing their money. An investor, on the other hand, invests their money. They don't save it and hoard it. They put it out there into the world so it can do some work. And if you put it out there in the world so it can do some work, it will come back, hopefully with friends. And then it's a bigger pile of money, right? Now, when people come to our consultation, they have different goals and different ideas and so forth. But everybody has a different perspective. Later on this afternoon, I'm going to talk about your personal investment philosophy. And what you want real estate to accomplish for you is probably very different from what the person next to you wants, even if that person is married to you or related to you, right? Sometimes we have to talk about those things. It's amazing how many husbands and wives come to the consultation process and they think they're on the same page, and so we start asking some of these questions. And we find out that they're not really on the same page, that it takes a little talking through to get that, right? And I've got the, and I'm not married, but just a little word of advice from watching a lot of couples come through consultation. Life is short, do it her way. All right, so consumers think everything costs too much money. Do you know how much it costs to park at the airport? It's amazing how much they can charge for food and soft drinks. And here's my favorite, bottled water at the airport. Bottles of water at the airport are like $3.50, right? That's a lot of money for water. But when someone says something's expensive, that's expensive. Here's what I want you to always say, either in your mind or out loud, either depending on the situation. When someone says that's expensive, or you find yourself saying that's expensive, I want you to say this. Compared to what? Bottled water at $3.50 is expensive compared to dying of thirst, right? So I'm staying at a hotel in New York City, and I want to get my suit pressed, and I go downstairs to talk to the concierge about getting my suit pressed. They say, Mr. Helms would be happy to handle that for you. It'll be $22.50. And I went, $22.50? I don't want to buy another suit. I just want to have this one clean. I go, do you know that my dry cleaner charges $7? And they said, yes, Mr. Helms. And how much would it cost for you to get there? Today you're going to hear from one of the guys that is on our real estate show quite a bit, and also is our attorney, Jeff Lehrman. He's going to talk about how to form entities. And Russ Gray, who you'll meet today, and Charlie Kraftler and I went to see Jeff Lehrman at a seminar he was giving, and it was 10 minutes before it was time for him to start, and we pulled into the parking garage next door to the hotel, and Russ had driven that day, and he used to have this big old Suburban, right, this big old fancy car, because we like to carry around a lot of stuff, right, and he pulls into the thing, and the guy wants $35 to park the car for an hour and a half. And we're like, $35? And all of a sudden, we all break into consumer mindset, right? Well, I know, we'll go around the street, we'll see if we can find a parking space, or maybe we can find a cheaper garage. And I'm going, you guys, the seminar starts in 10 minutes. Which is more important, us saving $5 or $10 in parking, or us being there before Jeff's seminar starts, getting a chance to say hello, meeting some of the people, and being relaxed in our seats when it starts? So $35 was expensive, but compared to what? Consumers focus on the price. And what consumers do with their money, by the way, is they buy depreciating liabilities, things that go down in value over time, like big screen TVs and jet skis and those kind of things that seem fun but add no value to your life. What do investors spend their money on? Assets, appreciating assets. We hope things that go up in value. So it's a difference. Now, if you get involved with our Foundations program, which is how you get in our mentoring clubs, you'll get to understand very clearly the difference between consumer and investor mentality. But I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So let's talk about real estate. We're kind of positive about real estate. I don't know where you're at. Some of you already own income property. In fact, if you already own a property other than the house you live in, raise your hand. Look at all the people that are already profiting from real estate. Give them a hand. That's great. Now, how many of you own the home you live in but no other property? All right, you're building the American dream, and that's a great way. In the Bay Area here, where you guys are at, what happens? Properties go up quite a bit. We see people come to the